Today we'll be using the ladder method to solve adding and subtracting unlike fractions. Let's start with a fairly simple fraction, 3/8 plus 5/12. We're going to take this step by step. Step 1. Find the least common denominator. This is the same as finding the least common multiple. We're going to use the ladder method. Write our denominators 8 and 12 and find the least common multiple, which is now the least common denominator. As always, we're going to start with 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4, and 12 divided by 2 is 6. 4 and 6 are even, so we're going to use 2 again. 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. Since 2 and 3 are prime numbers, we're now going to multiply to get our least common denominator. 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. Group 2 times 2 and 2 times 3. 2 times 2 is 4, and 2 times 3 is 6, and 4 times 6 is 24, which is our least common denominator. On to step 2. Rewrite our fractions directly below our bottom numbers. Writing neatly will make it easier. 3 over 8 plus 5 over 12. Step 3. Write our common denominator for our like fractions and our solution. Notice we're using the 24 from our previous equation. Step 4 is using a crisscross or zigzag pattern to find our numerators. Let's start with 3/8. Go to our ladder, circle 8, then crisscross to the bottom of the ladder to the 3. Circle it. Then crisscross again to the 3 in the numerator and multiply to get our solution numerator, which is 3 times 3 is 9. To get our other numerator, we're simply going to do the same thing on the other side. Circle the 12, crisscross to the bottom and circle the 2. Crisscross again to the numerator 5 and multiply. 2 times 5 is 10. Since we have our like fractions, we go to step 5 and add our numerators, 9 plus 10, which equals 19. So our answer is 19/24. You may think this is really complicated, and it kind of is. But when we work a tough fraction, it makes things much easier. I guarantee it. We're only teaching it with simple numbers so that you can follow the process. Okay, let's try another one. 3/16 plus 12/36. Put our denominators in our ladder and find the least common denominator. As always, start with 2. 16 and 36 are even, so 16 divided by 2 is 8, and 36 divided by 2 is 18. 8 and 18 are even, so we use 2 again. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 18 divided by 2 is 9. We have no more common factors, so we multiply. 2 times 2 times 4 times 9. We group 2 times 2, which is 4, group 4 times 9, which is 36, then multiply 36 by 4, which is 144, our least common denominator. So rewrite our fractions, 3/16 and 12/36. Take our least common denominator and write the denominators of our solution. Now for the crisscross. Circle 16. Crisscross to the 9 on the bottom, crisscross and multiply by 3 to get 27 as our first numerator. Then the other side. Circle 36, crisscross to 4, then crisscross to multiply by 12, and 4 times 12 is 48, our second numerator. Now add the numerators 27 and 48, and you get the solution 75 over 144. Now I'm going to take a really simple fraction that has a trick. 2/3 plus 1/4. Put 3 and 4 in the ladder, and you'll find they are not divisible by any other prime number. So this is our trick. We divide by 1 and then work it the same way. Our least common denominator is 1 times 3 times 4, or 12. Rewrite our fraction 2/3 plus 1/4. Write our least common denominator 12 in our solution. First crisscross is circle 3, crisscross and circle 4, then crisscross and multiply by 2, get 8 for the numerator. Next, crisscross is circle 4, crisscross and circle 3, then crisscross and multiply by 1 and get 3 for the numerator. And you get 11/12 for the solution. Another way to work adding fractions is the butterfly method. This method works well and is great for simple problems. Since I prefer the latter method, I'm not going to explain it, but there are many videos you could watch if you're interested. Lastly, you can also work these problems the same way your parents and I learned to work these. It works great for simple problems, but I still prefer the latter method. There are many ways to work these problems. Choose what works best for you. Now let's see how this works for a hard question. 39 over 72 plus 36 over 48. Step 1. Put 72 and 48 in the ladder. As always, start with 2 since they're both even numbers. It'll work. 72 divided by 2 is 36, and 48 divided by 2 is 24. 36 and 24 are both even, so we use 2 again. 36 divided by 2 is 18, and 24 divided by 2 is 12. 18 and 12 are both even, so you use 2 again. 18 divided by 2 equals 9, and 12 divided by 2 equals 6. You can't use 2 again because 9 is not even, but you can use 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3, and 6 divided by 3 is 2. Now we have all of our factors. 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 2. Group them with parentheses. 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6, and 3 times 2 is 6. Group 4 times 6. 4 times 6 is 24, and 6 times 24 is 144. Rewrite the original fractions. 39 over 72 plus 36 over 48. Take our least common denominator, 144, and write it in our solution. Next, we circle the 72, crisscross to the bottom number 2, and circle it. Crisscross and multiply by 39. 2 times 39 equals 78 for the first numerator. Now circle the 48. Crisscross to the bottom number 3 and circle it. Crisscross and multiply by 36. 3 times 36 equals 108 for the second numerator. Add the numerators 78 and 108, which is the solution numerator 186. So the solution is 186 over 144. This is an improper fraction, but that's another lesson. I know this was a long video, but I hope it explains the ladder method and unlike fractions. Feel free to subscribe, comment, or request other videos. Thanks for watching, and I appreciate you trying to learn.